Hey guys, what's up? My name is Rachel and welcome back to my channel, Reading with Remy. Today I'm bringing a very exciting video, or I'm excited about it anyway. I have been trying for a couple months now to come up with a TBR game. I was trying to come up with an original idea, to be creative, but honestly, I'm not a very creative person normally. I'm more analytical, so I guess I was fighting a losing battle. Everything that I thought of had already been done. So I decided to just take my favorite and tweak it, adapt it a little bit, and just give the original creator all the credit in the world because I would not have come up with this without them, most likely. My debut of Remy's Bookopoly. Obviously, I got this idea from Becca in the books, which I will leave her channel link down below and also her first Bookopoly link down below. This is very similar to hers. However, I have tweaked a couple things, put my own spin on it, twisted it around a little bit to better suit me. I'm really excited to try this out. I've been wanting to play a TBR game for a really long time, so I'm very excited. So yeah, without further ado, we're just gonna pop over to the board and I'll explain my board a little bit more and then we'll get straight into the rules. Alright, so this is my Bookopoly board. I'm just gonna briefly kind of like go over some of the rules. It's pretty straightforward. It's a lot like Becca's Bookopoly. In that each of the colors is a genre. I have broken a couple of them up a little bit. Other than that, it's pretty similar. So I'd start with retelling. Those are probably what I have the least of, but they're also easy for me to read. And then going into contemporary is what I have the most of and like also the easiest for me to read. I guess I'll briefly explain these two. Community is just going to be conditions such as co-authored or publication date, things like that. My train stations are going to be different types of formats or genres that I don't have enough of to make a color. So I have graphic novel or manga over there on that side, and then poetry over here, middle grade over here, and then memoir or nonfiction on the far side of the board. Chance cards are going to be books that intimidate me, that I don't normally gravitate towards, that I probably wouldn't pick unless forced to. I have a stack of them here, and they're just no ifs, ands, or buts. Pull that book, read that book. Jail is going to be my least read genre, so most likely a classic or something that I don't normally tend towards, so therefore it is like going to jail. And over here, where free parking would be, is going to be a mood read. This is like mystery, thriller, etc. This is the only one that every space is different. So I have mystery, thriller, and domestic thriller. And then over here is my sci-fi with one dystopian, because sci-fi dystopian kind of goes together. Over here, where the go to jail space would normally be, is a friend or sister pick. So either my sister or one of my good friends who read a lot will pick one. And then fantasy is pretty self-explanatory. These are all high fantasy, so there'll be 2 young adult and then one of them is adult. And then last we have classic because they are the hardest for me to read. And then go, if I land on go, I have to land on it, can't just pass it. If I land on it, then I get to buy a book, and whatever book that I read or treat Yo Shelf with will be the book that is the pick for that, obviously. If I buy more than one book, then I've done it wrong. And these cards over here are for if I roll a double. They are condition cards, or like prompts, I guess. So I don't read enough, like I can, but on the regular I don't read enough to add a roll every time I get a double. So instead I will have like a limitation on what I can choose for that genre. The only time that I will add an extra roll is if I get 2 doubles, like 2 sets of doubles in a row. If I roll it twice, then I have to add one. If that becomes a thing that happens super frequently, I will up that to 3 rolls because it's my game and no one can tell me I can't. Then I would have to get 3 doubles in a row. I'm gonna start with 5. I did my average based on my book tracker up to this year, and so far my average is like 6.5 books a month, with my lowest being 4, so I figured 5 was a good number to shoot for. And then if I read extra, awesome. If not, cool. So that's my board. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them for you. But yeah, that's the basics. So, rule number 1. Let's see how this goes. I'm kind of nervous. Okay, 7. Okay, so a young adult contemporary. Alright, so my first role was to pick a YA contemporary. I discovered we actually have a lot of adult contemporary that I didn't realize, so this was a bit harder than I expected, but I ended up going with an author that I've read from before and really enjoyed, and we own a couple of her YAs, and for some reason I just have not been getting to them. So that is going to be Starry Eyes by Jen Bennett. I really don't know a whole lot about this one. I read the first chapter maybe 2 months ago and was definitely intrigued, just got distracted by other things and put it down. The only thing I know about this is a girl who is very, not anal, but likes to plan her life out to a T, gets invited to go glamping, and that's really all I know about it. Knowing Jen Bennett, it is probably a very cute and fun young adult romance contemporary. I'm interested to see how this goes. I'm hoping I like it as much as I liked Alex Approximately by her, and hopefully it will also inspire me to read the other book of hers that we've had on our shelves for a while, Furious Moonlight, so it's definitely a good first pick. Alright, roll number 2. That wasn't so bad. Oh, I don't have any. Script? True, script. Okay, let me look. So my second rule was to choose a poetry book. Funny story, didn't realize I don't actually have any poetry books that I have not read. So I went to Scribd for some inspiration, and I found I'm going to be reading A Fire Like You by Upil Chizala. I'm sure I butchered that. I'm so sorry. But anyway, I've seen this a couple times at Target and was intrigued by it. Also, it was on Scribd, which is nice, so didn't have to buy it. I don't know a whole lot about this. I assume it's most YA contemporary, not YA contemporary, contemporary poetry collections. They all kind of cover similar things, just worded differently, so shouldn't be too difficult. Hopefully I like it. I've had kind of a rough streak with poetry, so we'll see. Okay. Ooh, fun. I don't have to pick one right now then, because that's mood read, so yay. So my third role, I got mood read, which means I can pick any book that I choose later in this month. It doesn't matter what it is. First thing that comes to mind, on a whim. So yay, that's exciting. So far this is going pretty well. Okay, this is roll number 4. I'm not getting around this board very fast. Bitchin'. My fourth role was for a middle grade, and that was a no-brainer for me. I have a series that I have been meaning to finish for like 3 years now, and so I'm going to be reading the next book in the Trials of Apollo series by Rick Riordan, which is The Dark Prophecy. This is book 2 out of 4 currently. The 5th one is coming out later this year. I own the first 4, just have not read the first 4. I read the first one probably 2 years ago now, maybe longer actually, probably more like 3. I do still remember the general premise of this, so I don't think I need to do a reread. I'm also going to listen to this on audiobook because I already have this on Audible. I got it before I switched from Audible to Scribd, which is just sad because I switched from Audible to Scribd several months ago, so that tells you how long I've been meaning to read this. Either way, this follows the god Apollo after he is banished to Earth by Zeus and forced to live out as a teenager until he basically redeems himself. Alright, roll number 5. Oh my gosh. Oh, well, it was going well. So, friend or sister pick. For my 5th roll, I landed on sister or friend pick. Since this is my first month doing my Bookopoly, I decided to just go ahead and have my sister pick one because it was easiest. She's with me almost all the time, so it was very easy to just have her peruse the shelves. She gave me 3 options. All of them were Book of the Month books so that I would actually read some of my Book of the Month books. And I'm going to go with the one that we have had the longest that I have not read that I'm interested in. And that is Well Met by Jen DeLuca. I don't know a whole lot about this one. I do know that it is an adult contemporary where our two protagonists meet at a Renaissance fair, and that's really all I need to know. Nerdy, cute. I'm expecting to really enjoy this. Been meaning to read it, just haven't had the motivation, and now here we are. Okay, so I'm back. Since we're taking a trip out west this weekend and we'll have lots of time on an airplane, I decided to just go ahead and throw in a 6th roll because odds are I'm probably going to read pretty well this month just based on that. I plan to most likely finish at least 2 books while I'm out there, if not more. So we're just gonna go for it. It's also my birthday month, so let's just live wild. I was kind of bummed that I didn't get any chances or community chests or even get all the way around the board. So we're just gonna give this one shot. I'm probably going to regret this because I was going so well, but we're going for it. I think I'm gonna regret this. Okay, no. I was really worried we were gonna land on a classic, but chance could still screw me over. The Nightingale. I'm okay with that. For my 6th roll, since this month seemed to be so nice to me, which is, I'm going to take that as a birthday present because I know that these boards can be very awful to people. Let's throw in a 6th roll. And for that 6th roll, I did hit a chance, and the card that I pulled was for The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I have had this basically since we started getting into BookTube, and not just me having this channel, but watching BookTube as a whole, which was back in 2015. I bought this shortly after I bought All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr, which I only just read this year. So I feel like in the spirit of that, I should just go ahead and knock out all the historical fiction that's been hanging out on my shelf for way too long. So I'm actually kind of okay with this being my chance pick. Could have been a lot worse considering I have chunkers like The Name of the Wind and A Darker Shade of Magic in there, and also The Black Prison by Brent Weeks. This is actually quite a fair chance card, so I'm totally content with this. So that's it for this round of Bookopoly. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions about my board, again, just leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them for you if I didn't quite cover them in my explanation. Be sure to give this a thumbs up and subscribe for more awesome content. I will be doing this every month because I really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, stay tuned to that. I'll probably create a playlist down below if you're interested. So yeah, so I will see you guys in another video soon.